Descartes!
Oh no, I'm very scared. I'm very scared. That's such a stupid weapon. This shouldn't be allowed. Who thought this was okay? Oh, heavens. Good grief. Kill the man who did that. Kill him. Executed on the spot. This video is sponsored by none other than Raid Shadow Legends. You probably already heard all about it before. It's got guys, it's got gals, it even has some ghouls too. More than 600 of them to be exact. And great goodness, it's even got PvE. It's even got PvP, meaning we can add gank squads to the alliteration list. They've got this one boss who isn't annoying to fight against at all. He totally didn't one-shot everyone in my party with poison, not at all. I'm good at this game, trust me. Being the Guardian of the Void, keep Malik Kevlar. You know, at least the rewards for beating him in a fight is well worth the supposed deaths that never happened to me. The game does have some pretty good model work for a game like this. It also has lore. I know what you're thinking now, though. Space Guy, I've seen Raid Shadow Legends for the non-Victilian time now. Why should I even care for the non-Victilians in one time now? Because they got new things happening only this month, you dummy. Such as the Guardian Ring, which adds new ways to level your champions and get those legendary champions you missed out on. If you're looking for a head start in Raid, just download the game through the link in the description below or scan the QR code that's currently taking up all of the screen to get Konorono. No idea if I pronounced that correctly, but I do know is that she's good at the Doom Tower. In addition, you'll get these goodies: 200k silver, 1 XP boost, 1 energy refill, and 1 ancient shard so you can get another champion. The rewards can be found here in that little treasure chest in the corner, but these rewards will only come to new players and in the next 30 days. I'm obligated by law to remind everyone to check out Raid Shadow Legends for the QR code scan or link in the description. Now, onto the video. Very few weapons in TF2 have garnered the notoriety and infamy that the Darwin's Danger Shield has. Sure, certain items are downright annoying to fight against, like the Flog or Squirt Shot, but they aren't really overpowered. Unlike the history of the Darwin's Danger Shield. Originally added back in the Manconomy update of 2010 and part of the Croco style item set, the item originally had the fairly simple stat of just giving you 25 extra health, giving Sniper 150 HP. The issue, however, was with the item set. With the Sydney Sleeper, Danger Shield, and Bushwhacker, not to mention the funny little old Snaggletooth hat, gave Sniper the ability to survive full-on headshots. You cannot be killed by a headshot, it would just drop you to 1 HP. As a result, sniper fights were terrible, with the person with the set always winning since they didn't have to worry about waiting 3 seconds for a fully charged body shot. Thankfully, when item set bonuses were removed in the 2013 summer event, Valve removed the headshot immunity from the item set and just fucking put it on the Danger Shield. You solved nothing by doing this, Valve. You actually made it worse now, because snipers aren't just limited to the Sydney Sleeper. They can have any item they want in its play. What were you thinking? This version of the Danger Shield added a 15% bullet damage resistance and a 20% explosive damage increase. It was extremely annoying to fight against, as the only counterplay to it was also equipping it. Thankfully, Jungle Inferno saw this weapon screwing over snipers to now screw over pyros, for some reason, with his current stats being full-on afterburn immunity and a 50% fire damage resistance. Nowadays, people tend to fall into 2 groups when talking about this weapon: those that think it's extremely overpowered, completely shutting down Pyro, and people who see it as one of the most situational items in the game, rarely ever coming into need. Personally, I've always looked at the current Darwin Shield and questioned what sort of drugs Valve was on when changing its stats. Obviously, the short-range close-up class poses hardly any threat to the long-range backline class. Sure, you could argue that certain items in Pyro's arsenal pose some threat to Sniper, Flare Gun, Detonator, or most noticeably the Squirt Shot, but I wouldn't call these threats and more just annoying things to deal with. As a Pyro, you hit a sniper with a flare gun and they'll typically tend to run to a health pack, allowing you to push forward and actually engage him up close, or they'll risk dealing with the flinch to deal with you, allowing for another flare hit. It's a rather nice dynamic fight that requires a decent amount of aim and skill from both classes. And the Darwin's Danger Shield just ruins it and invalidates the Pyro's ability to aim while actively promoting the sniper to be tunnel vision and not worry about projectiles coming towards him. Hypothetically, if you are capable of reaching the back lines without movement, invisibility, or a substantial health pool, and manage to fight the sniper up close, it's just an extremely tedious fight. Assuming you're at full HP as Pyro, you will survive a quickscope with 25 HP remaining, leaving you extremely vulnerable to a melee swing from the technical 250 HP sniper. This isn't even considering if the sniper will get a random crit as well in his melee. But these are all Pyro arguments against the weapon. And although screwing over a solo class is kind of funny and stupid, you gotta ask yourself, is it really the most important thing to be doing as a sniper? When and why should you actually use or wear the Darwin's Danger Shield? This may sound like a stupid question, but think about it. When fighting against a Pyro? Wow, maybe it was a stupid question. Or maybe you're the stupid one. What, you're gonna put on the Darwin's Danger Shield because of a single Squirt Shot spammer? Do you realize what other secondaries you're giving up just for the extremely niche benefit of not having to deal with flinch from flare guns? And this is the real fault of the Danger Shield and doesn't make it as much of a problem as people typically make it out to be. The situational benefit the Darwin's Danger Shield has is largely outclassed by every other secondary item. Okay, well, aside from this horrible thing, but yeah. The stock SMG is self-explanatory in its usefulness and general application, allowing you to deal with mid-range and close-range targets with ease, which not only includes Pyro, but other targets like Scout. The Cozy Camper with its passive health regen means that any damage you take is negated with time, effective for not just dealing with flares and the occasional close-range Pyro, but rockets or even body shots against you as well. Not to mention the no flinching on full charge shots provides a nice kill shot even while on fire. And Girardi? Oh boy, what doesn't this do? Gets rid of those pesky close-range enemies, creates tough stains on spies, and of course, it does not just extinguish you, but teammates as well. What's not to love about Girardi? Darwin's Danger Shield is certainly a paradoxical weapon. Outside of maybe the short circuit, I can't think of that many weapons that are so situational and rather pointless for the user, yet so annoying to play against. But what makes the Danger Shield even worse is just the sheer stupidity that Valve had when rebalancing it for Jungle Inferno. I can understand the afterburn immunity and making Sniper less vulnerable to flares, but where on earth is the thought process for making the long-range class stronger against the close-range class? There isn't. Oh my god. Don't tell me this is the sole reason why they added the changes. The thermal thruster is legitimately the only logical reason why I can see Valve would add such a high damage resistance to the Danger Shield. We gave Pyro the ability to reach the backlines faster, and as a result, snipers get ambushed more often. Better give them a weapon to deal with that. Except, I don't see that many thermal thruster Pyros flying about. Do you? As a result, you get this nothing item in the game, with such a situational upside, outclassed and outshined by every other option that only ever has 3 noticeable uses. Medieval Mode, which is where the Danger Shield unironically shines the most. A fully charged Huntsman body shot does 120 damage, but with all the fire pyres stacked around the map, fire arrows are quite common, and the afterburn they cause will kill you. Unless you have the Danger Shield, allowing you to run back and get health. Speaking of arrows, the Huntsman, being a close-range weapon, is perfect for when you also come across the close-range Pyro. It is probably where most of the hate regarding the Danger Shield comes from. I would still consider the Cozy Camper to be the best secondary with the Huntsman, but the Danger Shield is a close second. And finally, it's pretty swanky for cosplaying as goddamn Croc from Croc in the Legend of the Gobos. So, how does one go about fixing this amalgamation of alligators? Well, first things first, we have to remove that 50% damage resistance to fire damage sources. It's extremely overkill and not all needed. I also question the afterburn immunity, as unless the entire team is Pyro or you really suck at dodging, there is little reason to fully commit to such an upside when compared to Girardi. Still, it isn't that bad, so I guess it can stay. I'm tempted to add back the 25 extra HP it used to add, but I don't think Sniper ever drastically really required or needed more health, and even if we did, can you imagine how annoying this would be to play against with a competent medic giving the Sniper overheal for literally a second? Even then, it would still be a rather situational item. So how about a much more interesting and unique twist on the Darwins? 10% movement speed increase on the wearer when equipped. Sniper doesn't need a grandiose increase in his movement. I kind of fear what happens if you give Sniper the ability to reach horizontal heights. But an incredibly small yet still noticeable speed increase opens up a lot more doors than you imagine. Equipping this new danger shield makes your walk speed 110%, and while scoped, 37%, allowing you to maneuver out of harm's way without needing to unscope and lose your aim. The biggest upside, however, would be paired with the Huntsman, making your speed while charging 67%, and giving Huntsman snipers the mobility and survivability for close and mid-range encounters that they usually lack. And as for classes that manage to get close to the Sniper, they sacrifice their ability to have a way to deal with you up close, in addition to the situational 250 health against fire, and are granted a much more useful ability to run from that danger ever so slightly. Of course, these are just my thoughts on a slightly more dynamic, less situational, and pyro-hating Sniper Shield secondary. Feel free to comment on what you think of the changes I propose, in addition to some other reworks if you have them. A special thanks to Kachow Lightning McQueen for fighting the combustible Capuchin Poopy Joe, who's hidden somewhere in this video as well. Find his location and comment down below with a timestamp to be in the next video. And here comes the Patreon credit roll. You know, I'm gonna be honest, like the Danger Shield, I've been tempted to sin and equip it on a few occasions when getting killed by like a Flog Pyro or a Scorch Shot spammer. I will hover over it in my inventory, I will almost equip it, and then I will say, wow, isn't that reckless and stupid of me? Back to the Cozy Camper or Girardi is not that good. Credits still going? I don't know. I blame Zesty for people thinking that this weapon's overpowered. It's really not. It's just way too situational to be an upside.